Welcome to my top 10 most anticipated comics for November 15th, 2023. Guys, I'm Mike Spider Slayer. This is Comic Book Corner 2.0. Hopefully this list does help you make decisions on what comic books to buy, because you know what? It's never too early to start that pull list for next week. All right, guys, so before we dive into it, I gotta give a quick shout out to Whatnot. Yes, guys, Whatnot is a free downloadable app. In fact, I got a link in the description box below. When you use my link, it's going to give you a $15 credit off of your first purchase. So whether you're a fan of comic books, Hot Wheel cars, collectibles like action figures and Funko Pops, you win that first auction, $15 off your first purchase. It does support the channel once you use that first purchase, and it is much appreciated, guys. Thank you so much, and enjoy the free app. All right, guys, so here we go. The book that's on the hot seat. Never thought I would say this so soon, but it is The Cull issue 4. So this is Kelly Thompson's independent book about some kids that wound up going into this cave where they were searching for one of the supporting casts, like younger brother or whatnot, and they went into this cave and it went to this like parallel dimension, and it wound up changing their forms, and now they're exiting out of this world and they're going back to Earth, and now it looks like because wherever they went, it changed Earth. We're 4 issues into this book, and even though I explained quite a bit, it doesn't seem like a lot has happened. There hasn't even been a lot of character growth, but these characters talk a lot, and there hasn't been much overall story progression. We don't know much about the world. We don't know much about anything about this comic yet. However, the artwork in this book is absolutely gorgeous. The facial expressions look great, and I am intrigued, but it's just taking a long time to get there. Let's hope it gets better as time goes along. This is 32 pages, and this is $4. The book that's on the rise, we have Cap Wolf in the Howling Commandos issue 2. If you're frustrated by J. Michael Straczynski's Captain America right now after 2 issues, I am guaranteeing that you probably like a Cap Wolf and the Howling Commandos issue 1 better than those 2 issues combined, because we get to see Captain America go back in when he was in the war, and you get to see him turn into Cap Wolf, and it is absolutely awesome to see that. The artwork is very dark, and it's, you know, reminds you of like a scary comic book, and it's great. The interactions he has with the Howling Commandos is really fun too, and overall this is a book that, you know, it's just like almost like an Elseworld tale. Doesn't really connect into anything, and I think you can really enjoy it here. Great action as well. This one is 28 pages, and this one is $4. Kicking off the top 10 officially this week, we have Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy. This is issue 3. So we have basically Silver Surfer doing battle against, is it Warlock, and he's being committed for crimes that he actually didn't commit because it's Mephisto, and we've gotten to see Genesville doing battle against the Silver Surfer Black, if I remember correctly. This is just a fun book, man. Again, it's just like Cap Wolf, nothing here that you could take too seriously, and I like books like this at times. It kind of is a palate cleanser, right? And so if you guys love old Silver Surfer from the 90s, I say this every time, you're gonna really enjoy this. And if you're new to Silver Surfer, there's nothing wrong with actually reading this. This is a fun story and great artwork with great action, and you get a taste of what comics were like back in that time frame. This is 28 pages, $4. Moving on to number 9, we have the official kickoff to Superior Spider-Man. This is issue 1. We had the 0 issue before, and here now we have Superior Spider-Man facing a new villain from his superior past. Who that person is? Do you remember reading the Zero issue? Well, hopefully you remember and you'll know who that actual character is. It's hard to believe that we're celebrating 10 years of Superior Spider-Man. That's insane to me. This is legacy numbering 46, which is kind of weird. And this is 36 pages and this is $6. I'm looking forward to this. I love Superior Spider-Man. I love Doc Ock, the way he's written by Dan Slott. He's hysterical. He calls people dolts. He's like the die is cast. Great stuff, man. Moving on to number 8, we have Blade issue 5. So we have Blade versus the Adania round 1 fight. So this is like Mortal Kombat style, right? This book has been a lot of fun as well, as Blade has wound up getting possession of this blade, which is funny. I think it was like the Devil's Sword or something like that. And it's kind of changing him, making him a little bit greedy and whatnot. But he needs this sword in order to defeat the main enemy here. This book has had lots of action. The colors have been great. However, the last issue's artwork was much different than what I'm used to. But this was a fun book to read as of right now. 28 pages, and this one is $4. So far, it's a very affordable week right now. Moving on to number 7, we get the return of Geiger from Jeff Johns. Guys, this is Geiger Ground Zero issue 1. This is a mini-series premiere. And this is also drawn by Gary Frank. So if you guys read the first volume of Geiger, I think you're going to like this. I really like the character. He was like stuck in, I forgot, like some kind of like radioactive accident or whatnot. And he wound up surviving and his whole family wound up dying. If you never read the original series, go find it in trade. You'll know a little bit more about this character after reading it. I like it, so we'll see what happens, where it goes from here. This is 32 pages, $4. I love all the stuff that all these different creators are going to be coming out with in the near future. Coming in at number 6, we have Ghost Rider issue 20. This continues the story arc with Talia Warroad and giving her origin story. And this series has done quite well for itself, and I've preached it over and over again for you guys to read this. This one is written by Benjamin Percy. And this is the Trail of Cult of Mephisto. And what happens is we wind up seeing Talia Warroad as a young teenager, how she joined Mephisto's cult, and now that cult is calling back to her, and she's got to confront them once again. The interactions between characters are great, especially between Talia and Johnny Blaze as they're in a relationship with each other. Very horrific book. I think you're going to like this if you're a Ghost Rider fan. I think you're going to like this if you're a horror fan. Great stuff here. Very consistent writing. Legacy numbering 263, 40 pages, $5. Coming in at number 5, we have Green Lantern issue 5. Solid story here. Sinestro's on Earth. He's taking control of Ferris Air, and now we have a Red Lantern ring involved. How awesome is that, guys? I haven't seen the Red Lantern since like the New 52 days, and I love that Red Lantern series. So good with Atrocitus in there, but I don't think he's going to be in this comic book. I think it's all going to be about Sinestro and what his plans are to destroy Hal Jordan. But I love the interaction between characters in here. The artwork is absolutely phenomenal. There's actually a backup story in here, which, you know, I don't really care about. I care about the main story. That's why I pay for this book. This one is 40 pages, and this one is $5. Top 4, here we go. Gunslinger issue 26. Gunslinger's hell on a mission to kill sin. Will this put an end to Gunslinger's quest for vengeance? Only time will tell. I don't think so, man, because Gunslinger's been after these people forever. These people have made his life a living hell in present and past, and he's been trying to get revenge ever since this story has started. But it never gets old. It's always entertaining. The artwork is always really good. And even though Brett Booth is taking a break on the book right now, I forgot the artist's name. If you can remember, let me know in the comment section below. But the art is still just as good. And again, guys, you can't beat the price. 24 pages, and this one is $3. Top 3. Here's a new number 1 that I'll be definitely discussing on my Worthy One show. This is the Deviant. This is issue 1. So this is a story that takes place back in 1972. That's how it kicks off. Of a blood-stained Santa Claus commits unimaginable atrocities against young men. And then when we go 50 years later into the future, this guy is still behind bars, but obviously he demands his innocence here. But as that 50 years goes past, there's somebody reenacting all those murders all over again. Did I tell you this book is written by James Tynion? No, I did not. It is definitely written by him, so you can expect a pretty solid story here. And, you know, he's building up quite the resume of great books. I don't know how he can keep up with all this stuff, but I am definitely looking forward to this horror holiday style of comic. This is 48 pages, and this one is $6. Coming in at number 2, we have Big Game. This is issue 5. Guys, hard to believe already. This is the mini-series finale from Mark Millar. This is a double-length conclusion. So for $8, you're going to get double the pages here, but I'm telling you, this story is so worth it. Just when you thought you had this book figured out, especially in issue 4, it totally went in a direction I did not expect. He has literally thought of everything he has literally planned for all contingencies when it's come to all of his characters making an appearance in this mini series. It is a phenomenal read. If somehow you can get issues 1 through 4 on the racks, pick up those and pick up this issue. You don't even have to be like a fan of his previous work, because it's just such a well-written story, okay? I read all his stuff, but it's been years, and I forgot some of these characters existed, and I'm like, oh, I remember you, and then it's just like, but the story is just, it's awesome. It blows me out of the water. The artwork is absolutely phenomenal. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Again, 56 pages, $8. Remember, guys, after number 1, we are not done, as we are going to talk about those noteworthy comic books, because there could be some books that are not on this list that you didn't even know about, and you know, you might care about those ones, so we'll see what happens. All right, so number 1 goes to G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, issue 301. A new era of G.I. Joe begins right here, guys. I can't wait for it. I will be starting my new series called More Than Meets the Page, as I will be talking about G.I. Joe. I will be talking about Transformers, Void Rivals, and I'll give you my thoughts on all those books. It's kind of like a monthly series. Hopefully you guys will check that out when it is released. But G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, issue 301. Again, there is going to be a Joe that does not survive this issue. Right away, we're going to start off with a bang. Holy cow, man. I can't wait for this. 32 pages. This bad boy is $4. Noteworthy Comics. Here we go. Kicking it off with Marvel. We have Fantastic Four, issue 13. It's like we have Fantastic Four crossing over with freaking dinosaurs, because here we got Dr. Doom writing a Doom dinosaur. Interesting. Curious to see if you guys will pick that up just for the Alex Ross cover alone. Then we have Thor issue 4. It's officially dropped on my list, guys. I'm no longer reading it. Next, we have Daredevil issue 3. I feel like this volume has been a little bit average for me. I'm going to still pick this one up. Next, we have Uncanny Avengers. This is issue 4. Then we have Dark X-Men issue 4, where Chasm will be in this comic book. That's very interesting. Then we have Jean Grey. This is issue 4. Next, we have the continuation of Red Goblin, issue 10. Anyone in the comments below, tell me when this series is going to end. Then we have Spine-Tingling SpiderMan, issue 2. Next, we move on to DC Comics. We have Detective Comics, issue 1077. Then we have Batman and Robin, issue 3, as we continue the story with Shush. Then we have World's Finest Teen Titans. This is issue 5. A lot of people were telling me that Wesley Dodds, the Sandman, issue 1 was really good, so I decided to put issue 2 on the noteworthy comics. And then we move on to The Vigil, issue 6. A lot of people are digging this series. And then we have Wildcats. This is issue 12. And then next we have a new number 1. This is The Outsiders, issue 1 with Batwoman in there. All right, now we move on to the indie scene. We have Spawn, issue 347. Then we have The Walking Dead Deluxe, issue 77. We have Something Epic, which is issue 7. Did you guys check out Blood Commandment this past week? Really good book. And then we have Philadelphia, issue 31. Next, we have Red Sonja, issue 5. And then we have a book that I liked the first issue of. This was Haunted Girl, and this is issue 2. So there you guys have it. There are my top 10 and noteworthy comic books for 11/15/2023. I want to know in the comments below what you guys are most looking forward to that particular comic book week. And of course, guys, if you love my content, I'll leave you more content right here. That's my top 10 comic book covers of the week. A year-long competition where you guys can vote on your favorite comic book covers. And of course, guys, as always, support those local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting, but always remember to read those comics. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you on New Comic Book Day.